I'm telling.
So first of all, coming to the education part. So generally in Vedic astrology, if you want to see in details about the education part, you need to see the D24 chart, which is the Chaturvimshamsa chart. Okay. So generally here, overall, the general, the main karaka for this D24 or the significator, whatever you tell, for this D24 chart is the Guru, which is Jupiter. Okay. And also Mercury. Both are very much important for the D24 chart because Jupiter represents your knowledge, Mercury represents your intelligence. Okay. So coming to in D24 chart, Jupiter must be placed very well. Okay. Placed very well in the sense it should be in Kendras or Trikonas, in an exalted sign, both Trikon sign, own sign, or in a friendly sign, without any malefic aspects or without any, weakly placed, like in a deblated position or anything, or with any malefic, something like that, or with any deblated planets. Now, even same applied for Mercury also. That shows that education will be very good. Now, after that, you need to check your first house lord, where it is placed, the first house, how it is, and all. So here, first house should be very well strong. Okay, which means no planet should be sitting, or very good planet should be sitting, especially functional benefic planets, or generally planet should be aspect into the first house. That shows that very great education for the person. Okay, overall throughout the life. Or first house lord should be placed very well. Okay. Now that shows the interest of the person towards the education. Okay, first house lord placed in 12 different houses. Now coming to first house, see here generally malefic planets shows struggle in the education. Okay, generally you need to see which ascendant and all. Like see here, generally Mars is sitting in the first house, shows person will generally struggle a lot. But here, Mars is the sixth house lord sitting in the first house and 11th house lord also. So generally, the person will be having lot of struggle, but generally, a person will be interested in Mars related things, like person can be technically interested, or person can be even doing something related to the technical things, or Mars means blood related things, like doctor dealing with a surgeon. Okay, like dealing with bloods, those type of things, surgeons. Okay, dealing with injections, dealing with all type of instruments, doctor instruments, tools. Okay, all those things generally. Now here, Mars also represents, energy. Mars represents the passion the person has. So sixth house lord sitting in the first house shows the person loves to do, service to other people. It might be any kind of service. Okay. So sixth house represents service. So that's why. So sixth house lord in the first house, or first house lord in the sixth house, shows service to others. Okay. Now, after that, first house represents your overall education, how it will be throughout your life, whether it will be very good or bad. Okay, so first house lord should be placed in good houses. Okay, that proves the person will be very good at education. If it is placed in 6, 8, struggle a lot, needs to put a lot of effort. Okay, in the education. Now, generally, see here, first house lord is sitting in the 8th house. That shows that the person will face struggle in the education in order to complete the education. It also shows that the person can be interested in, working behind the scenes. Okay, such as like, technical things. Okay, or whatever 8th house related, like, uh, you know, some hidden things, research, especially research. These people will be best suited for research, 8th house related. Okay, it can be any type of research, like a doctor doing research, or something PhD level, like that. So those are the things. Now, if first house lord is placed in the first house itself, that shows that very good education. If it is in the second house, the person will be getting great values from the education. If it is in the third house, a person needs to put a lot of effort like that in the education. If it is in the fourth house, then a lot of happiness from the education. If it is in the fifth house, the person is very much intelligent, uses his intelligence in order to get education. Sixth house, the person will be doing some engineering or lawyer or doctor, something to do with service related education. Okay. Seventh house will do something to do with business things. Okay. Eighth house means person will be passionate towards research, towards studying doctor, hidden subjects, occult science, etc. Okay, something which is unnatural. Ninth house means all about teaching. Person will be interested in teaching students. Okay, will be interested in philosophical things. Okay, will be interested towards anything related to the religion or those type of things. Okay, higher studies also comes under ninth house. 10th house represents government education, studying in government college like that. It also shows we'll get a lot of respect in the education. 11th house represents the person will get overall gain in the education. 12th house represents person will study in the foreign countries. Also some loss will be there, of course, like that. Okay. Now second house represents the values that you learn from the education, like being disciplined, being able to work hard, being able to put effort, lot of things, your speech in the education, it might be your primary education. Those kind of things can be seen from the second house. It also shows your salary that you earn from the education after getting educated, whether you earn from that particular subject or not can be seen from the second house. So second house should be placed very well in the kendras or trikonas like that. If it is placed in 6th house, 8th house, or 12th house, the person might take loan from the bank in order to study. If second house lord is placed in the 6th house, 8th house, or 12th house, or with the 6th house, 8th house, or 12th house, or if 6th house, 8th house, 12th house is placed in the second house. Okay, like that. Now, third house shows how do you communicate in the education? How do you connect with the other students in the education? How do you communicate with your teachers can be seen in the third house. So third house should be placed very well. Third house should be placed in an own sign, multi-con sign, friendly sign, or even in the kendras or trikonas. That shows that it is very well. The person has very great communication with other students. Now, what type of communication that person will communicate with other, that depends on the planet's place in the third house. Like here, Sun, Rahu, Ketu means little bit aggressive, little bit dominant. It is a lot of all the confusions communicated, misunderstandings will happen like that. So malefics in the third house, generally person needs to struggle a lot in the education, needs to, whenever the person communicate with other people, they have to put a lot of effort in order to get things done like that. Benefic will give a lot of very great communication for the person. Now fourth house shows your peacefulness in the education, your happiness in the education. Whether you have happiness or struggle in the education can be seen from the fourth house. So fourth house lord should be placed in the fourth house itself, or first house, 10th house, 7th house, or in the trikonas, or in the 11th house. That shows that you'll have very great education, you will get happiness from the education, and etc. No problems, no issues in the education. If fourth house lord is placed in the third house or 12th house, 6th house, 8th house, means you will definitely will face some failures, obstacles, struggle in the education like that. If fourth house lord is in the 12th house or 12th house lord in the fourth house, means you will have education in the foreign land or in the foreign institution like that. Okay. Now fifth house lord in the uh, you know uh, fifth house lord in the D24 chart represents how the person will use his or her brains in order to study the particular subject or particular in order to complete the education. How will the person use the intelligence? That can be seen is creativity, is or her own creativity. How the person uses that. Okay. So that can be seen from the fifth house. Fifth house represents the house of graduation. If you are studying bachelor's, something like that, that can be seen from the fifth house. It should be placed very well. Okay, in an exalted sign or own sign or in kendras or trikonas only. Now, sixth house represents engineering or lawyer or doctor, etc. Those houses. If it is placed in Kendras or Trikonas, lot of struggle related. If it is sitting in 6th house itself, or 8th house or 12th house, again some obstacles will be there. But still, 6th house Lord anywhere, it's not good. Okay, those kind of houses, it brings trouble. Now 7th house Lord in the Kendra Trikonas will be very good. Your 7th house represents your opposite person. Okay, so whenever you are in education, your teacher represents your 7th house. Not only 9th house, your 7th house also represents opposite person, your teacher. How will be the characteristics of your teacher can be seen from the 7th house. Your opposite student, I mean your friend, your student friend, how it will be can be seen from the 7th house. Now 8th house represents your obstacles in the education while studying. Okay, your interest for the research can be seen from the 8th house. Now 9th house can be seen from the your teacher relationship with you and your teacher, how it will be. Those kind of things can be seen from the 9th house. It also shows your luck, your higher studies can be seen from the 9th house. Okay, if any person wants to study higher this thing like masters or etc. can be seen from the 9th house. So good planets will promote to the higher studies, bad planets will give some struggle like that. Now 10th house shows name and fame, like getting first rank, getting a distinction, getting famous in the class. That is the 10th house. Now 11th house shows your overall gains like scholarships, etc. So on. Okay, so 12th house, 11th house also represents your friend circle in your education. Okay, 12th house represents your overall loss, your foreign land, foreign travels during the education, something like that. Okay, so these are the 12 different houses in the D24 chart. Okay, so there is something known as yogas. Okay, so Raj yogas in the D24 chart. If you are running under particular Mahadasha of a Raj Yoga, then you will education will be very good. Okay, like let's say Saraswati Raj Yoga. Saraswati Yoga means Jupiter, Venus, Mercury in the first house, second house, fourth house, fifth house, ninth house, 10th house, and 11th house. That shows that great Saraswati Yoga. Okay, so that gives the person very great education, very great knowledge. Okay, Jupiter, Venus, and Mercury in the either in the Lagna, second house, fifth house, fourth house, 7th house, 9th house. Okay. No, not 7th house, first house, second house, fourth house, fifth house, 9th house, 10th house, and 11th house. Okay. Now, another thing is that Buddhaditya Yoga, there is something Sun and Mercury. Sun and Mercury will give Buddhaditya Yoga, which makes the person intelligent in the education. Okay, like that. Now, let's say, for example, whether the person will fail or not can be seen from the 4th house. If 4th house Lord is placed in the 3rd house, 6th house, 8th house, 12th house, that shows that that person will definitely fail or definitely will get a low marks in the education. Okay. Same goes for 1st house Lord in the 12th house, 3rd house, 6th house, 8th house. That shows that low marks. Person will get very low marks in the education. Okay. Like that, you need to see and predict. Okay, so this is about now what kind of education the person will study. Let's say engineering, lawyer, doctor, or film field artist. Okay, so that can be seen from particular planets. Now, let's say for example, doctor. If you want to study for doctor, 6th house is important, which shows service. Next gives 8th house, which shows research. Next gives 12th house, which shows hospital. So these houses should be strong for any doctors, and your 1st house Lord should be strong, obviously. Next comes the planets. The planets are moon. Planet moon should be very much strong, which shows that your mind, okay, which shows your mind should be very much strong. In order to serve others, mind should be very much pure, good, and everything. Okay, so that's how you need to see. Now, for engineers, Mars will be very much strong. That shows that technical things will be very good. So 6th house, 8th house, 12th house should be strong for engineers. Okay. Now, for people who are in lawyer, for lawyers, 6th house should be strong, and Mercury should be strong for lawyers, because lawyers, they argue a lot. Mercury represents your communication. Okay. So that's how. For business education, same thing. Mercury should be strong. 7th house should be strong for business. Okay. And for education related to the food, something related to the restaurant, 4th house should be strong. 2nd house should be strong. Like that. Okay. So these are the things you need to see. Now, another thing is that if you want to check for a particular branch like civil engineering, mechanical, computer science, that also differs. For computer science, Mercury should be strong. Okay. 5th house should be strong. 4th house should be strong. Okay. And 6th house, 8th house, and 12th house, these houses should be strong because 8th house represents working behind the scenes. Computer means behind the scenes. Okay. 6th house means obviously it's a house of engineering, technical things, or day-to-day service, etc. 12th house means it's the house of foreign land, for foreign things, and even K2. K2 represents computer. Okay. Rahu represents wires. For Rahu, electronical or electrical engineering, like that. For mechanical, you need to go for purely Martian qualities. Okay. For doctor, for like surgeons, etc., Mars is seen. Okay. For dentist, 2nd house need to be strong. Okay. And for surgeons, I already told you, 2nd house, 8th house, Mars, Moon should be strong. Okay. Like that. Jupiter represents teacher. For teaching educations, for teaching students, Jupiter should be strong. For film industry, 5th house should be strong. Okay. Teaching film, like that 5th house, Venus should be strong. Okay. Like those kinds of things. So that shows your overall education kind of thing. So this is how you need to specify, and you need to check. Okay. So yeah, so these are things you need to check dasha also. So which dasha currently the person is running. If the person is running under Rahu dasha, you need to check where Rahu is placed in which house. What does Rahu represents? What are the planets the Rahu is sitting with, an aspect, like that. Okay. So those kind of things. If Jupiter, same thing goes for Jupiter. You need to check Antardasha and all, etc. Like that. So yeah, but this was my in-depth analysis of D24 chart about the education. Okay. So yeah, this is it for today.